Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everybody. Tonight I'm going over a video about basically what has happened to Star Wars, in my opinion. My journey, so to speak. I was 3 years old when I saw the first Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy. I saw it in 1988, and I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. Then I got into, as the years went by, 9 years later they did the Star Wars Special Edition. I absolutely loved that. And it was a way of reinvigorating people's love for Star Wars, because there were books and whatnot of the expanded universe. But the special edition was basically Lucas's way of telling his vision the way he wanted to originally. There are some who absolutely love the despecialized editions. I love one moment of the despecialized editions. In my heart, Han will always have fired first against Greedo. Then they did the prequel trilogy. As when I was younger, I absolutely loved the prequel trilogy. I still do. Even though now, with a more objective eye, I see that there are flaws in there. But it still has its merit. I like the Clone Wars show. And I absolutely loved the Clone Wars movie. But I also see that there are continuity issues. I will always be an EU fan. I did not like how Clone Wars did the Mandalorians wrong. They did them dirty. They made them pacifists. They made Jango Fett no longer Mandalorian. And they just started going in a direction I didn't like, even though I still liked the show. I liked how they revived Maul. I really did. I didn't get into Rebels. After Disney got a hold of Star Wars, things started going downhill quick for me. I didn't like how they were doing this Rebels thing. I liked the look of Clone Wars better than the look of Rebels. It didn't fit together. And the way they had those really thin lightsaber blades when the lightsabers were thicker in the Clone Wars show and whatnot. Now I understand that they were tributes to the original trilogy and whatnot, but it's like there's no consistency between Clone Wars and Rebels. Then things kept on devolving. Only one good thing so far, in my opinion, has come out of Disney that is Star Wars related, and that's Rogue One. Yes, I acknowledge Rogue One has some of its flaws, but it it fits into the prequel trilogy and original trilogy continuity. It is the opening crawl to Episode 4, A New Hope. They said the Rebel Alliance has won their first major victory against the evil Galactic Empire. I had always wondered what that victory would be. So, when Rogue One showed us this, I'm like, okay, this fits into that puzzle. Solo, I'm like, why are they making a Solo movie? Solo, I didn't like, especially after Episode 8. But then they also did they're doing the sequel trilogy. And these movies are objectively flawed. And it also opened up my eyes to the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, where there are very toxic fans out there. And yes, they picked on some of the characters like Rose Tico, and it's like, look, I understand if you guys have problems with Rose Tico, but don't attack the actress. yes, the character of Rose Tico is a naive one at best, and she is a very naive character. But people were going after the actress. Then there's these Reylo sycophants out there that literally cared so much that they wanted a Reylo romance that they doxed Adam Driver and attacked his wife. And I'm like, you people are sick. Disney has betrayed George Lucas's vision. I saw an interview where George Lucas was talking with Kathleen Kennedy and turning over the reins of Lucasfilm to her. And he specifically mentions that he has his own views. He has like a summary write-downs for 7, 8, and 9. And he's giving them to Disney to help them tell a great story, to keep part of the Lucas formula. And Kathleen Kennedy later says in 2018, we had no books, we had nothing to go off of. After George Lucas, back when he sold Lucasfilm to Disney, specifically said, with her in the room, we have all these books and this rich mythology that you guys could go off on. And they basically just shit it all away. They pissed it away. They took the EU and they're like, the EU is no longer canon. It's Legends. Well, I'm sorry. I'm always going to see the EU as canon. I think of it as a multiverse, really, like they did with Marvel and DC. And I will see Marvel, or not Marvel, but I will see Legends as the main timeline. Because there was great things happening there. This stuff that they are doing now with Palpatine being Anakin's father and whatnot, it's like, ugh, miss me with that crap. It's cringeworthy. Then Solo and whatnot, these movies were just not good. Episode 8 was laced with identity politics and pushed a feminist agenda. You know, girl power and all that crap. And I started noticing that fans were being very toxic. Very cruel. Not just certain fans, but the directors and Disney and the actors. They actually started basically going off on the fans like, you were never really Star Wars fans. Bitches, you guys didn't come around until frickin' recently. You guys didn't come around until 2016 when Episode 7 came out. You guys are not the real fans. We grew up with Star Wars. We know this. We bleed Star Wars. So to say that we weren't real fans because we had issues with your movies, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. We have an objective eye. We know when a part of our fandom is flawed. We live, eat, breathe, sweat, shit, and piss Star Wars. And when we see our fanship, our fans, or our fandom being torn apart by Disney, we're going to defend ourselves. We are going to defend Star Wars, or the Star Wars that we know and love, as if it is a newborn child being attacked by a home invader. We will defend it vigorously. That is why the Fandom Menace, a community that I have recently discovered and embraced, that's why we're called the Fandom Menace, because we're going to call out the flaws that Disney has created. We are not fans of this new trilogy because Disney basically said the big old F you to George Lucas, and so did Kathleen Kennedy. They're doing this whole Force is female crap, and it's like, the Force is for everybody. But also, you guys made the Force a belief system that if you believe strong enough, you can wield the Force. That's not how the Force works. This kid suddenly being able to use the Force because they believe so strongly in the rebellion and whatnot, it's like, no!
That's not how the Force works. The Force is a living energy field that surrounds us, penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together, as Obi-Wan and Yoda had said in the original trilogy. So when you guys are saying all you have to do is believe, and you can use the Force, you people have gone absolutely out of your effing minds! But then Rian Johnson comes out, starts insulting fans and this and that, and recently started making dick jokes when people gave constructive criticism to him. Well, you can criticize my dick! And it's like, I'm sorry, Disney, you should be paying attention to one of your directors. They're kind of going off the deep end of sanity here. Anybody else would have been fired. After monumental failures, from fans' point of view, not in box office, because apparently if you make $1 billion in the box office, you're a success. Movies can be terrible in the box office and still make a, or movies can be terrible and still make bank in the box office. Oh my God, when are people going to realize that? But as I became a more objective movie goer, somebody who looked at movies and was able to spot the flaws and see that there's problems, I realized that some of these fans, oh my God, man, the way that they hate on you simply because you have an objective opinion saying, I didn't understand why they did this, and it literally makes no sense. You're not a Star Wars fan. You're evil. We shun you. Okay, well, fine. Just proves that you're actually not a real Star Wars fan yourself, and you're not even an objective human being, because a mature human being would actually be able to agree to disagree. So, yeah, whatever. But then Episode 9's trailer came out and made everything even more confusing. After Episode 8, they killed the character Snoke, who was like supposed to be this really powerful character, and then they suddenly just X him out, cut him in half. I'm like, whatever, okay. You guys basically lost me after all this, plus what you did to Luke Skywalker totally killed it for me too. Mark Hamill admits he did not like the trilogy, or this sequel trilogy coming in. He did not like how Episode 8 turned out. He did not like how they put him in at the last second of Episode 7. He did not like that Luke Skywalker went into hiding to be a pussy. He saw the biggest evil in the galaxy, which was his own father, and turned him away from the dark side, brought him back to the light. Then all of a sudden his son, or his nephew, is having bad dreams, and he realized that somebody has turned him, and he wants to kill him? It's not Luke Skywalker. And the tragedy of Carrie Fisher, Peter Mayhew, they were joining many of the original cast members like Peter Cushing, Sir Alec Guinness, Kenny Baker. Then Carrie Fisher passed later, or back in 2016. And then, or was it 2017? No, it was 2016. And then Peter Mayhew recently. Something has shifted, basically. The balance of the force, of the fans' force, has shifted. And to have any opinion that goes against the status quo of fans, you're going to get butchered. or they're going to come after you. They're going to call you names. They're going to treat you like crap. Good thing for me, I don't care what others think about me. I really don't. But the fact that you guys are going after other people, shame on you. Shame on Disney for allowing it, for allowing their own corporation to blame the fans for their failures. Shame on all of them for allowing this. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it. Give it if you're new here, subscribe. I could always use more support, more subscribers. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know your original memories of Star Wars and how you absolutely loved it. And if you guys feel like trying or disagreeing, I honestly encourage disagreement. I honestly encourage a good, solid conversation where we can agree to disagree, but we can also discuss our disagreement. So if you guys disagree with what I have to say, go ahead, voice it. I encourage it. I gotta go for tonight because I got some stuff I gotta do in the morning. So you guys have a great night. God bless you all. And I'll see y'all on the next video.